Hello there, Kyle Katarn here, and welcome to my first ever Q&A video. So for some reason, a couple days ago, YouTube decided to give me a community tab, even though I do not have 10,000 subscribers yet, which I thought was the prerequisite. Anyway, this has given me a couple different ideas, one of which is that I'll be posting a Q&A video every month answering questions that you guys ask me on the community tab. And I'm also going to be launching a P.O. box next week, so you guys can send me all kinds of creepy, weird shit, and I'll open it right here on the air. So stay tuned for that information. I'll be posting it on the community tab soon. Anyway, let's get to some questions, find out what you guys want to know. Raptorist77 wants to know, what other franchises do you enjoy? Jurassic Park, Star Trek, etc. And if you could make your own anthology film, when would it be, who would be in it, and what would it be about? That's an awesome question. So first of all, I love a lot of different kinds of things outside of the world of Star Wars. I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings. Actually, my aunt and my cousin both worked on Lord of the Rings back in New Zealand, where I'm from. I'm also a huge fan of heavy metal, the original magazine, and Metal Hurlant, which came before it. I've collected every issue between 1977 and 1992. So, as for my own anthology film, it would be a comedy in the style of Talladega Nights. It would be starring Ben Quadraneros, and it would be about the semi-pro pod racing circuit. I'd probably be the only person that went to see that movie, but I'd love it. Kurt Laserbeam wants to know, what are your personal ranking of all the Star Wars films? Okay, so that's a tough one, especially since now that there's a new movie coming out every year or so, the answer always changes. My favorite Star Wars film of all time is Star Wars Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. It's top of the list. That'll always be the top of the list, unless something crazy happens in the future. A lot of people are probably going to disagree with this ranking, so I'm just going to give it to you straight. From best to worst, we've got Empire, Rogue One, A New Hope, Revenge of the Sith, Solo, Return of the Jedi, Phantom Menace, The Last Jedi, Attack of the Clones. I have a separate ranking for the animated series. It goes as follows: The Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels, Clone Wars made-for-TV movie. Let the shitstorm in the comments commence. Sammy Cool wants to know, how are you, my dude? I am excellent, my dude. How are you? About Games Daily asks, do you think there will be any Jedi or Force users in Star Wars Resistance, and will you be watching the show when it comes out? You're damn right I'm watching the show when it comes out. I will be posting reactions to every single episode right here on the channel, so please stay tuned for those. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm not sure if we're going to see any Force-wielding people. The sequel trilogy era so far, the Force seems to be much more of a myth and a legend than something that you'd see walking down the street. Rey didn't know that Skywalker was real. She thought he was a myth. The only Force-sensitive person that is a high guarantee will probably see Leia at some point. And although not a Jedi, she's very much Force-sensitive. Patrick Howard says, what is your favorite canon novel and why? You know, a lot of people consider it to be kind of a throwaway story, but Battlefront 2 Twilight Company by Alexander Freed is my favorite Star Wars canon novel. It's super gritty, boots on the ground. You follow Hazram Namir and his squad, Twilight Company, through several different major battles in the original trilogy. It's really fucking gory and violent, and kind of pushes the envelope a little bit for what's usually acceptable in a Star Wars novel, especially in the new Disney canon. But if you haven't picked it up, if you're a fan of Battlefront in even the smallest way, you're gonna love it. It's a great book. It's a difficult question to answer just because there's so many great books coming out. A close runner-up is Lost Stars by Claudia Gray, and Timothy Zahn's latest Thrawn novel was also absolutely killer. Something About Twilight Company by Alexander Freed, though. I love that book. Jacqueline Bolin asks, what is your favorite Star Wars childhood memory? Also, what other film, TV, comics, video game properties do you enjoy? So the second half of that I kind of answered earlier, talking about heavy metal, Lord of the Rings, things of that nature. As far as childhood memories, as in the summer in 1997, living in New Zealand at the time, going to see Star Wars when it came back, when it was re-released in the special edition and they put it back on the big screen. That was my first time seeing Star Wars in a theater, and it blew my mind. I'd seen them before. I'd seen them a couple times before, but on a screen that size, you feel like you're in space. It was magical, honestly. Daria Nyaksu, and I'm sorry if I butchered your name, asks, what were your thoughts on Star Wars Episode 8 about Luke being a hermit and all that stuff? Also, I really like what you do. Don't stop. Well, thank you very much. My thoughts about Luke, I understand it. I mean, the theme of the movie was failure. Whether or not you agree with the narrative decision, it does make sense from a writing standpoint if you look at the complete character arc of Luke Skywalker. Not what I would have done. Rian Johnson made a lot of choices during The Last Jedi that I would not have made But I don't resent him for it, and I definitely don't feel like it ruined my childhood. If anything, I applaud him for taking the risk, because, you know, whether or not it pans out, it takes some balls to take that risk in the first place. So, Lord Dasan wants to know, do you flee like a coward? This fucking guy. Man, I don't know if you guys know this, but some fucker named Dasan keeps quoting the bad guy from Jedi Outcast at me in the comments of all my videos. And I love it. Please don't stop. You're amazing, whoever you are. Azul Saints Daniel asks, what solo film would you most like to see? I may be in the minority opinion here, but I would really like to see some Star Wars with more political intrigue, but not set in the Old Republic era. Let's get a like an Operation Valkyrie kind of movie set during the original trilogy. They could even remake that exact plotline from the Star Wars Empire comics, with Moff Tracta and everything, and the plot to overthrow the Sith and regain the control of the Empire. Man, I love those comics. I would love to see that story be brought back. Here comes Templar with the loaded questions. Who is your favorite Star Wars character? That is a difficult one to answer. I'm not honestly sure if I can narrow that down to a single person. The best I can do for you is try and give you some categories. Favorite bounty hunter? Bosk. That's easy. Favorite Jedi? Obi-Wan Kenobi. And my favorite bad guy of all time? Grandmother flippin' Moff Tarkin. Thank you very much. Andre Dulac asks, did you play Star Wars The Old Republic, and what do you think about the trailers? I played the game. I played a free trial for a minute. It's fun. I just didn't have the time to sink into that. And with MMORPGs, if you don't have time to really sit there and grind, you're never going to get anywhere. So I knew I would never see the end game, and I kind of gave up. The trailers are beautiful. I love them. They're one of the most requested reactions here in the comments. But I saw them when they came out. I saw them years ago, and I've watched them enough times since that the reaction's just not fresh anymore. I especially love the moments during the first one where Bastille throws the double-bladed saber to her master, and he fights. He's dual-wielding a single and a double-bladed. That was some awesome choreography. But yeah, I love those trailers. They came out at a time when we weren't getting anything else Star Wars, so that was the best we were getting. And we ate it up. We were grateful for it. Galen Urso says, what is your opinion on the droid attack on the Wookiees? It is a system we cannot afford to lose. To which I say, do not worry. Good relations with the Wookiees I have. I will go. Rocky Hemingway asks, actor or actress you want to see in a Star Wars film or show? You know, I actually got my wish a few years ago because I had been pulling for Ben Mendelsohn to be cast as a villain. And when I found out about the Rogue One casting, I freaked out. It is too bad I did not have a YouTube channel back then, because that would have been fun to watch. Nowadays, if I had to pick someone, honestly, Ian McShane would make a badass Imperial Sector Governor or like a First Order Commander or something like that. Also, Rory McCann as an alien bounty hunter, that would be dope. Cool, and that's it for Community Q&A for this month. I will be posting a thread on the Community tab every month where you can ask me questions. Look forward to seeing all the crazy stuff you guys are going to write to me next. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out the rest of my channel for more content, reactions, and reviews. Leave me a comment if you have a question or something to say, and as always, may the Force be with you.